What's up, YouTube? Merry Christmas Eve, December 23rd. Last day of mail for till Tuesday. Didn't get the package I was waiting for, but I did get another one, so I'm going to blast this one out real quick from Tokyo Torque Series 1. The fact that it's Series 1 is a good thing because that means they're going to bring out more, and hopefully they continue adding tooling licensing. I know the Bluebird is coming in May in the Black Bandit Series 19. So that'll be good. Wow, this car I posted it up on IG, and there's a lot of hate out there, and I can kind of see it. Alright, let me put this up here. This angle is not very good, but this is the Greenlight 1970 Nissan 240Z. And I don't know what to think of it. I'm kind of disappointed in it. I don't really think it's as hideous as all the commenters. It almost just looks too small. And the wheels and tires look huge, which I think on the Baja Z is probably going to be okay. It just doesn't look right. Look at the ground clearance on that thing. That is just too much. Now the graphics look pretty good, although there is a flaw there on the hood, a paint smudge, and you can see one of the headlights lenses is coming off. That's something, or maybe it's not. It just looks like it is because of the way it's painted. But I have seen a couple of people have issues with those little lenses popping off. Okay, here's the pluses. You have transparent lensed insert headlights and taillights on this casting. So that is a good thing. There you can kind of see the headlight. And then there you can see the tail light. Now you can see the one on the right is crooked. To the naked eye, it's not that noticeable. But in last night's video, that's one of the things that I talk about when talking about Tomica Limited Vintage. That kind of stuff really doesn't happen. I've had it happen with maybe a couple of castings, but by and large, you don't have those issues with TLV. So overall, I really don't know what to make of it because I think the casting, the tooling itself looks pretty okay. I think they've got the wrong size wheels and tires. It's almost like the wheels and tires are for a 1:64 scale, and the body is like a 1:72. You know, I don't know. It just doesn't look right. That's for sure. It doesn't look correct. I don't think anybody could argue that. We'll take another look at that before we're done, but I did bring out some other castings of the Nissan. This is a 1970 Fairlady. This is made by M2. Now this does not have transparent lensed insert taillights. It does have the headlights though. The taillights are more of like a painted, either painted or tampoed or whatever. Now, I never thought that I would say this, but M2 did a better job on the model, in my opinion. It looks more correct. Now, it too has its flaws. Like the Greenlight, I think there's just too much ground clearance on it. Shouldn't sit that high. But the lines of the car, I think, look a lot better on the M2 And I think the wheels and tires look much better on the M2. Hopefully, at some point, M2 will get the Brock licensing, because I would love to see these castings with the Brock livery. All of them. The Skyline, the Z, and the Bluebird. But I am excited for the Greenlight Bluebird. I hope that they do a good job on it, because this is disappointing. And, you know, I've seen these in the packaging, and I've seen a couple people crack them open, and I just held out hope that, you know, maybe it's one of those cars that doesn't look great in the packaging, but looks awesome when you get it out. Because I have run into that. Like the R34 Skyline is a good example of that. The 39 Chevy Panel. A lot of the Greenlight cars don't look great in the packaging, but then when you take them out, they look awesome. That is not the case with this car. I think it looks a little bit better out of the packaging, but it still looks, it looks wrong. It just doesn't look right. Look at how small those windows are. I mean, I'm not like an expert on these cars, but I doubt that the windows are that narrow in relativity to the car. It just doesn't look correct. The proportions look off. The wheels and tires look off. Somebody commented on my Instagram post saying it looks like a monster truck, and I can see exactly what he's talking about. But I don't think it's as awful as some of the commenters, but it's definitely disappointing. I expect better than this from Greenlight, but you know, you can't get them all right. I mean, in an ideal world, you could. Tomica gets them all right. But sometimes, like I said the other day, sometimes you swing and miss, and sometimes you hit it out of the park. And this was a swing and a miss, I think, for Greenlight. Now, the Baja Z, I don't have that one yet. I'm waiting on it, but I could see that one looking good, because it's supposed to have this type of look to it. You know, it's supposed to have a little bit more ground clearance. And, you know, that's what this looks like to me. This almost looks like a little Baja Z. It just, I don't know how to describe it. It just doesn't look great. Anyways, here's the TLV. This is a later body style. So we're not talking about a 1970. I think this is a late 70s, early 80s. It's clean though. That's a really beautiful car. But and then there's this one, which I don't know what year this is, but Johnny Lightning brought this out under Playing Mantis in 1999. And I'm almost torn as to which one looks better between this and the Greenlight. I think I'm going to give it to the Greenlight. This one to me just looks awful. It's that rear wheel well is way too big. If it wasn't for that, then I'd probably give it to the Johnny, because the rest of the car on this is really nice. But that rear wheel well just ruins the car. I mean, it just ruins the entire look of the car. It should not look like that. And I don't think they would even need to make a new tool. I think they could just retool it probably and fill that in a little bit. So, I don't know. 4 different brands, 4 different Z's. What are your guys' thoughts? If it's anything like the commenters on Instagram, I already know how it's going to go. But there you go. That is the new 1970 Datsun 240Z casting from Greenlight. I've been really up on Greenlight this year with all the new toolings that they brought out. I'm going to recap them all here very soon. And hopefully there's more cool stuff to come from 2018. I know Greenlight was very aggressive this year, adding tooling licensing to their catalog. So no other brand, or I should say no other premium brand. When I say that, I'm not counting Kyosho or TLV because I don't know with those guys. I don't follow. But between Racing Champs, Johnny Lightning, Auto World, M2, and Greenlight, Greenlight by far and away added more licensing. And that's in reference to the castings. Because I know, well, it could be just licensing in general. But I don't care about packaging licensing. I don't care about Hollywood licensing or graphic licensing. All I care about is the casting licensing. That's all that's important to me. That's why, I don't know. I don't care what is on the car. I just want the car to look good. So the Bluebird is coming in May from Greenlight, so that'll be interesting. I have to say that I think for the most part, I give the edge to M2 on the Japanese cars. I think the Japanese M2 cars have come out a lot better than the Greenlight. But the R34 Skyline from Greenlight did come out pretty nice. So, but the Bluebird and the Hako and the Fairlady that M2 put out, they really smashed it with all 3 of them. So I don't know. It's nice that that both of those companies went out and did that. Hopefully they'll continue to add some vintage JDM. There's a lot of old Toyotas that would be cool to see. There's also a whole bunch of other old Nissans that would be cool to see. I would love to see like a Nissan Laurel or a Violet or something like that. Even maybe a Ken Mary Skyline from M2 I think would be awesome. So hopefully we'll continue to see expansion in that category. One last thing too, I brought this out just because this is also a Greenlight casting. This one is, I think it's a Miho exclusive. It's an exclusive. I don't know. I don't remember if it's a Miho. But this is the Nissan GTR Brock Racing. This one was a pain in the butt when it came out because it came out, I think, like 4 months after it was supposed to, which has been a trend with Greenlight. They announce release dates and then they don't have everything locked up before the release date. Like in this case, they didn't have, they were only in the process of acquiring the licensing when they announced it, and then something happened and it set it back. And I think that happened with these too, because the Tokyo Torque GTR and the R34s were hitting pegs everywhere at Toys R Us, Hobby Lobby, and the Z's got delayed for some reason. So all those cases that were showing up, they were all Skyline cases. There were no Z's. So I don't know what the delay was with these, but it shouldn't be the Brock licensing because they, well, unless it's a different contract than the GTR. But anyways, I love the BRE racing livery. I think it looks really good. I hope that we see a BRE Bluebird so I can add that to the Greenlight collection. You know, a year ago when the BRE, Datsun, Hot Wheels cars were really hot, which they still kind of are, but I never would have thought that we were going to see a BRE 510, a BRE Z, and a BRE GTR from Greenlight. But I'm happy we did. Well, 2 of the 3. At some point, the 510 will be out. I'm sure, I'm very confident that at some point they will do a Brock 510. And if anybody from Greenlight is watching, please get a K5 Blazer tooling license, please. Get a square body Chevy tooling license. Even if it's a Silverado, I want to see the Blazer. I want to see it with a lift. You can get some Stranger Things licensing and do Chief Hopper's truck that Matchbox just did unofficially. And that would be awesome. So, there you have it. Nissan, as the Canadians say, Nissan 240Z, 240Z. I think that's a 280 and a 260 maybe. I don't know. But there you go. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm not going to be back probably at least till Tuesday. Unless I get bored, in which case I will be back. Maybe with a viewer's choice or a who did it best. But you all have a very Merry Christmas, and I will holler at you at the next video.